If space is fake, then someone out there is running the most aggressive rock-throwing campaign in human history. Because Earth keeps getting hit by meteorites. Not one, not two, but about 17,000 of them every year. Which raises a very important question. If the universe is fake, who keeps throwing rocks at us? Let's explore this. Hello there, welcome back to Star Stuff, where I explain things about space and science in a really understandable way, so it helps anyone who may be confused. Today we're looking at meteorites, asteroids, comets, and just how their existence proves the globe. So meteorites are pieces of asteroids or comets that survive their fiery trip through Earth's atmosphere and land on the ground. And they're not just random rocks. They're very weird rocks. Some contain nickel iron metal, which is rarely found naturally on Earth. Some contain tiny spheres called chondrules that formed in the early solar system. Some contain isotopes, which only appear after millions of years of cosmic radiation, which basically means meteorites come with a cosmic passport stamp. They literally carry the chemical fingerprint of outer space. Flat Earth logic would require one of two explanations. Number one, space exists. Or number two, someone secretly manufactures exotic alien rocks and throws them at Earth regularly, which would be a really strange hobby. When a meteor enters the atmosphere, it travels insanely fast. We're talking 11 to 72 kilometers per second, which is about 260,000 kilometers per hour, which is fast enough to go from London to New York in a minute. This is where it gets interesting. There are global networks watching the sky. When a meteor appears, multiple cameras are recording it from different locations. Scientists then triangulate the path and reconstruct where it entered the atmosphere, where fragments will land, and sometimes even which asteroid it came from. In other words, we can literally track the rock back to space, which makes the fake space theory a little bit tricky, because now someone would need to be launching the rocks from orbit without space existing. That's a logistical headache. Meteor showers are even more revealing. Take the Perseids. Every August, Earth plows through debris left behind by a comet called Swift-Tuttle. When we hit that dust cloud, the sky fills with shooting stars. And this happens every single year. Same time, same direction, same radiant point in the sky. Why? Because Earth is orbiting the sun and passing through a comet's debris trail. Flat Earth explanations tend to get a little creative here, but they usually end up something like, the dome sheds sparkly space dust, which honestly sounds less like astronomy and more like a fun school space project. Then we have impact craters, huge ones. Arizona's Meteor crater is almost 1 kilometer wide, and the Chicxulub crater in Mexico, that one is about 180 kilometers across. That's also the reason why dinosaurs had a really bad day 66 million years ago. When scientists study these craters, they find shock-compressed minerals, melted rock, fragments of the impacting meteorite, and the physics matches objects arriving from space at cosmic speeds. So unless Earth has an underground rock cannon pointed upward, the simplest explanation is space exists, and it occasionally throws things at us. Now we're going to look at asteroids, which aren't just dots in telescopes. We've actually visited them. Spacecraft have orbited them, landed on them, drilled in them, and even brought samples back to Earth. Japan's Hayabusa missions returned asteroid material. NASA's OSIRIS-REx brought back samples from asteroid Bennu, which means scientists can now compare asteroid samples and meteorites on Earth. And guess what? They match perfectly. So the rocks falling from the sky are literally pieces of those asteroids. Okay, for some people, rejecting space isn't about science, it's about trust. So if you believe governments and institutions lie about big things, then space exploration starts to look a little suspicious too. So evidence gets filtered through that distrust. Meteorites become fake rocks, government props, or things falling from the firmament. But the reality is much simpler. Meteorites are studied by thousands of independent scientists, universities, museums, and amateur collectors around the world. There's no single authority controlling the data. Just a lot of people picking up strange rocks and going, yep, that definitely didn't form in the garden. So do meteorites prove Earth isn't flat on their own? Maybe not. But when you combine meteor trajectories, asteroid observations, meteor showers, impact craters, and extraterrestrial chemistry, they become part of a much bigger picture. One where Earth is a planet moving through space. And occasionally, the universe throws rocks at us, which is actually kind of rude. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I'm very grateful for all the support. Let me know if you've ever witnessed any meteorites in your life, or if you think it's all nonsense, even while there are buckets of proof. Cool beans.